y'all? Welcome back to another video. This video is a hair tutorial, I guess you can call it. I'm just gonna be showing y'all how I installed this wig. It's gonna be very detailed. You know, I'm gonna try to give y'all as much information as possible, so that way there's no room for like error, or like if there are any questions, it'll be something like very specific. I'm gonna try to hit all the points. I'm gonna try to think of all the questions that I have when I watch like wig construction and install videos. This is only my second time ever making a closure wig, and I feel like this wig turned out pretty good. And if you ask me, like, I high-key got this thing looking like a frontal, if I do say so myself. And best part about it is glueless. So it's like, bro, you can't get any better than that, really. But yeah, that's enough of me talking. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so here y'all see me putting the wig on after I sewn the elastic cap on. And the first thing that I'm gonna do is tint the lace as well as my wig cap with my just regular pressed powder foundation. And you want it to be the tone, like the color of your skin tone. Yeah, and here you see me just kind of separating the baby hairs from the rest of the hair and clipping the rest of the hair out of the way so that it doesn't get in the way of the melting process. And then here to melt it, you see me putting on or spraying on this got to be freeze blasting spray. And you know, sometimes that can like spread to the rest of the lace if you spray too much, so just be careful with that. And then just tie down your elastic band after you spray that in between the part where you parted the baby hair and the rest of the hair. You want to leave that on for about 15 minutes, and then you're going to come back after that, take that elastic band off, and then y'all see what I'm talking about here. Like, I sprayed way too much spray, so now I'm having to like lift some of the extra lace. But then after you take that elastic band off, or elastic scarf off, after about 15-20 minutes, you're going to spray another layer of the got to be spray in that same area, like in between the part where you parted the baby hairs from the rest of the hair. And then you also just kind of want to lift the baby hairs up so that, you know, they're a little bit mobile when you take the scarf off the next time, or the band. And so then you're just going to go in, tie down that elastic band or scarf. I'm using a scarf here, but tie down that elastic band or scarf for another 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, and when you take that the scarf off, y'all see me just kind of like lifting the baby hairs, and I realized that I was gonna need to clip the baby hairs out of the way in order for me to cut the lace. So that's what y'all see me doing right here, just bobby pinning those baby hairs out of the way. And then you're gonna start by cutting straight up the middle of the excess lace, and then just working with one side at a time. So right here, y'all see me cutting in like a zigzag sort of pattern. And you want to cut in a zigzag pattern to kind of like, you know, disguise the lace so that it's not a straight line. And so then you want to also cut off that extra kind of tab at the edge of the lace, that thicker tab. And so now y'all see me going in on the other side, doing that same thing, just cutting in a zigzag motion. And then I just feel like working with one side at a time is just a lot easier. And then it also allows you to get a more even, you know, cut across that hairline part.
High maintenance, everybody else basic. You live life on an everyday basis with poetic justice. Poetic justice. If I told you that.
So right here, y'all see me pulling the baby hairs back down. And after I pulled the baby hairs back out, I realized that I was gonna have to cut off more, like a little bit more lace. And so now I'm bobby pinning them back up just to go in and cut a little bit more of that lace off so that it's more seamless. and more like wet lace.
Wanna go and party. She wanna go and party. Nigga don't approach her with that authority. Nigga that ain't good game, homie, sorry. They say conversation, nation. I can tell, but I could never right my wrongs. Unless I write it down for real. P.S. P.S. And I know just what you want. Poetic justice, put it in the song. Alright, alright.
Okay, and after I clip that extra lace off, I'm gonna bring those baby hairs back down and just kind of brush them out with, you can use either an edge brush or an edge comb. I had an edge comb that I just forgot that I even had, so I'm using this edge brush. But you just wanna brush out the baby hairs to make them not super stiff. You want them to be like easily movable and easily like manipulatable, if that's a word, whatever. But anyway, here I am cutting the baby hairs, and I like to cut up instead of across because it makes it look, a little bit more natural, if that's at all possible. And so I'm doing this the same way that I cut the lace. I'm just kind of like starting at the middle and working with one side at a time. But I know I cut these kind of long at first, and so later on y'all will see me go back in and cut a little bit more off. And then like right here, I'm taking some of the baby hairs back up into the rest of the hair because I didn't like how thick I had them. And so here y'all see me just kind of like, shortening the baby hairs that I cut.
Hold up.
And y'all see me going in like little snips at a time. You just want to be careful not to cut like straight across in one long swipe of the scissors, because then it just looks super unnatural. Okay, and now you want to take an alcohol-free mousse. It's the same one in the previous video that I showed y'all, but you want to take an alcohol-free mousse because if you use alcohol, that'll lift the lace up. And you want to put that on the ends of your baby hairs only, not on the lace part, just on the ends of the baby hairs. And then just swoop the baby hairs to your liking. Edge comb probably would be more suitable for this part. But again, like I said, I forgot I had one, so I was just using this brush. But yeah, just swoop your baby hairs how you want to, girl.
We got a whole lot of new money though. Raindrop, drop top, smoking on cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Cooking up dope in the crock pot. We came from nothing to something, nigga. I don't trust nobody, grip the trigger. Nobody all up the gang and they come and get gang. Find me a river, give you a tissue. Bad and bullshit. Cooking up dope with a Uzi. My niggas are savage.
Okay, so once we get our baby hair swooped to the gauze, okay, we're gonna go back and tint the top of that lace a little bit more with that same press powder that we used before. And we're just kind of tinting it a bit more, just kind of blend it with our natural skin tone. Just a little bit more before we complete the melt. Okay, and now we're going to go in with our third and final layer of the Got To Be a respray, and we're just gonna go right in on top of that powder that we just pressed into our skin.
I'm young and rich and plus I'm bougie. I'm not stupid, so I keep the Uzi. Records on records, got records on backers, so my money making my bank. Ay. You niggas got a low act rate. We from the north, yeah.
And once we got that free spray on there, we're gonna go in with our elastic band / scarf, whatever you choose to use. And this time I left it in overnight, but y'all could just leave it in for another 10 or 15 minutes like the previous two layers. And so now this is the next day, and I'm taking that elastic scarf off. But first I'm going to brush the hair out and detangle it, all that good stuff.
My niggas are savage, ruthless. We got 30s and 100 rounds too.
Look at the melt, honey. Listen, this wig is melted to the gods, okay? So right here, y'all see me going in with the friggin' edge comb that I knew I had. But I'm just combing through the edges just to like make them a little bit more loose, because I don't like for the edges to be super stiff. So I'm just kind of combing the edges out a bit, keeping them in that swoop, combing them in the swoop direction so that, you know, they're a little bit more loose, not so stiff. We do not like stiff edges, honey.
Say if you a bad bitch, put your hands up high.
Also, y'all, I just want to say I was just kind of freestyling this whole thing, like just doing what I figured would work the best. So I think it's turning out pretty good.
I recognize your fragrance. Hold up, you ain't never gotta say shit. And I know your taste is a little bit high maintenance.
Okay, once that is done, we are about to style this thing, honey. Put some heat to it. So y'all see me just combing out the hair where the part is, just to get it like as flat as I can before I go in with heat and with the product and stuff. Yeah, just detangling and all that stuff to make this next part as easy as I can. So here I went in with spritz, but honestly I would say don't do this. Do not use spritz, y'all, because all it did was make my hair hard and hard to work with, and I couldn't manipulate the hair as easy, but it's whatever. But I went in with some spritz. I would suggest using a wax stick that I will show y'all a little bit later on in the video. But I'm going in with my hot comb and just pressing out the roots. And y'all can see like the hot comb was getting caught in the hair because the spritz had just made the hair so like stiff. It was a bad idea. And the hair was breaking off too. Not bad, but just a little bit. But don't be like me. But anyway, I'm using this hot comb to just press out the roots, lay that wig flat, honey, okay? Lay it flat.
I really hope you play this, cause oh girl, you test my patience with all these seductive photographs and all these one-off vacations you've been taking. Clearly a lot for me to take in, it don't make sense. Young East African girl, you too busy fucking with your other man. I was trying to put you on game, put you on a plane, take you and your mama to the motherland.
Okay, and here I'm just combing the roots out because like I said, they were stiff. So now I gotta comb them out to make them a little bit less stiff so I could use the hot comb. But I'm putting all this in the video so that you guys can learn from my mistakes, because, you know, we gotta teach one, or learn one, teach one. What's the saying? See one, teach one, do one. See one, do one, teach one, something like that, whatever it is.
They move, I just wish we would fight less and we would talk more. They say communication, say relations, I can tell, but I can never right my wrongs unless I write them down for real.
Say if you a bad bitch, put your hands up high, hands up high, hands up high. Tell them dim the lights down right now, put me in the mood. I'm talking about dark room perfume.
Hold up.
Okay, this is the wax stick I was telling y'all about. It's just this bedhead wax stick, and I'm just gonna use this to tame those like leftover flyaways, but I would just use this from the beginning. Like when you're doing the hot comb part, it would be so much easier to use, and that's what I should have did. I don't know what I was thinking with the spritz. All right, now we are styling this thing. So now you want to take whatever moisturizing cream you have, whatever you like the best. It really doesn't matter what you use. But we're just gonna like lightly spread this throughout the hair. We do not want to use too much of this because then that will make the hair like really greasy and stiff after it dries. And we don't want to do that. We just want to give it enough, just enough for it to be moisturized. So just thinly spread that throughout. And then we're gonna go in with that styling mousse, and we're going to go over top of that moisturizer with that styling mousse. just to clump the curls together. And now we're gonna brush throughout that section. And notice I'm working in sections of two, in two sections. But we're gonna brush to just kind of form those curls even more, comb through those roots a little bit to make everything a bit more seamless. And then we're going to repeat these same steps on the other section.
Pull up and goes. Yeah, my diamonds are choker. Put enough out with no holster. With the ruler, diamond cooler. This a roller, not a mule. Dabbing on them like the usual. Magic with the grippy voodoo. Courtside with a bad bitch. Then I send the bitch through Uber. I'm young and rich and plus I'm bougie. I'm not stupid, so I keep the Uzi. Records on records, got backers on backers, so my money making my bank. Ay. You niggas got a low act rate. We from the north, yeah, that way. That cookie blunt in the ashtray. Bitches just national smash day. Hop in the limb, have a drag race.
Okay, now y'all see me giving the hair one last little brush through before we move on to the final step, which is cleaning up that part. So you're gonna take a concealer that's like 1 to 2 shades lighter than your skin tone, so like whatever your normal concealer is, and then you're gonna take like an angled liner or brow brush, or any thin brush, and use that to apply concealer right into that part that you created. That's just gonna clean it up and give scalp. Now, if you're like me and you get a little bit of concealer onto like the roots of the hair, just kind of like wipe it off with your finger and keep it pushing, sis. It'll come right off. And that's what you see me doing here. But guess what, y'all? After that, we are finished applying this wig, and this is the finished product. I hope that you guys found this tutorial helpful, and I'll just let y'all look at this wig a little bit more.
Say if you a bad bitch, put your hands up high.
Hi guys, it's Editing Me, and of course I forgot to record an outro for this video, but shout out to you if you made it to the end, and if you found this video series helpful at all, which I hope you did, but don't forget to like and comment and subscribe. Share the video with people if you think it might be helpful for them, and then hit the notification bell. And again, shout out to you for making it to the end of this video. And if y'all have any more video ideas for me, if they got to do with hair, makeup, clothes, school, whatever, just drop them down in the comment section. Go ahead and do it. And then I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye.